Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 95th video on my video journal series. Today's date is Thursday, the 14th of May, 2026. Yes, that is correct. And something I want to do, I should first start off with, how's everyone been? I've been pretty good. Today's topic, today's topic will be pizza, because I had pizza today. It was, Pizza Hut. Or was it Domino's? Actually, I think it was Domino's, sorry, it wasn't Pizza Hut. I did have, Pizza Hut not too long ago. I think it was, maybe last week I had Pizza Hut. Or maybe the week before. I definitely had Pizza Hut recently, at least once this year. But I keep on getting Pizza Hut and Domino's confused in my mind. But um, no, I think I had Pizza Hut this year. But yeah, I did have Domino's pizza this week, today actually, and I'm pretty sure it was last week as well. I had Domino's, and it really got me thinking about pizza, because yeah, I've only really eaten Domino's, sometimes Pizza Hut, and I had Eagle Boys pizza when I was in Queensland many years ago. I remember Eagle Boys because they're like a small Pizza Hut franchise. I don't know if they still exist in Queensland, but I remember having them. They were quite good. I remember as a kid. But yeah, those are the only quote unquote major pizza um fast food retail. Sorry, fast food outlets I've been to, not fast food retail, fast food outlets I've been to, the pizza ones. I've been to like traditional restaurants where they like, the sit down ones where they serve pizza and all that, like gourmet pizza and pizza of a much better quality than Domino's or Pizza Hut. And they're like obviously pretty good. And whenever I go to like a restaurant, albeit, um, wherever it may be, sorry, Domino's or pizzeria or whatever, I always like to get like one or two pizzas. It's either the Godfather or pepperoni. Usually pepperoni, but I do love the Godfather pizza from Domino's, and some places they offer a Godfather pizza or something similar to that, where it's got like salami, olives, I guess like all the stereotypical Italian ingredients you could think of, like cheese and tomato. Well, they're on every pizza, but like um, you know, sometimes you get like anchovy on there. Because I like anchovy on pizza. The first time I had anchovy on pizza, it made me like nearly throw up. But then on my second time, I was like, hey, this is pretty good. And then I've naturally gotten used to anchovy on pizza to the point where I can't have pizza without anchovy. I know it sounds extremely controversial, but I actually like anchovy on pizza. And man, I guess like they have like some capsicum pieces in there. Um, but yeah, I do like a good Godfather, and with like some anchovy on the pizza, not too much, but like some anchovy, and even just eating anchovy by itself, like, well, that's a whole other can of worms or can of anchovies, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think theoretically anything can go on a pizza. Doesn't mean it always tastes good. Like some people don't like anchovy on pizza. I do. Some people really don't like pineapple on pizza, and I've had pineapple on pizza before. I know that's going to sound extremely controversial, but listen, I don't think pineapple on pizza is the worst thing you can put on pizza. You can put like nails on pizza, all right, or like, um, you know, like cyanide, which you shouldn't do. Obviously, those like, um, you know, things that you shouldn't even touch in general. But obviously, I'm making it seem like Hawaiian pizza or like a pineapple pizza is gonna be like something that kills you. No, it isn't. I agree. It's not like the most ideal thing you put on pizza, but I don't think it's the worst thing you can put on a pizza. Maybe you know dynamite on pizza, like in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Theoretically anything can be pizza condiment. Um, but like I think pineapple on pizza was an experiment, let's say, and I like the taste of pineapple, but the cold taste of pineapple on pizza. It's not like anchovy, where anchovy's got like I said, like saltier taste to it. if you like that taste. But with pineapple, it's just like it's cold, and you put that on a hot pizza. It's just very juxtaposing, if you ask me. But I guess some people like it. And look, if you like pineapple pizza, I don't blame you, I guess. But for me, I wouldn't really have it, unless it's like maybe the last option. I'm like really hungry. Not to say I can't eat it. It's just that I, it's just not, it's just something I don't really vibe with. Like I don't really hate it as much as other people. It's just that I guess it's meh. It's okay. Um, but you've seen all the memes and hate about pineapple on pizza. But yeah, I guess like yet again, I'll say it's not the worst thing on a pizza, but yet again, there are like better options. You'd rather go with cheese or pepperoni, and yeah, like I said, anything could just be a pizza condiment. Nowadays, like why not tuna? Why not kiwi fruit? Why not those things? Why not chocolate on pizza? That sounds disgusting, but it could technically be a condiment. I guess why not pizza on pizza, Just have like mini slices of pizza on a pizza. I know, it sounds fantastic. Why not have breadsticks on pizza? Like mini, French or Italian style breadsticks on a pizza. Why not have a whole salad on a pizza? Pizza salad. I'm most probably giving birth to horrible ideas here, but pizza can come in many varieties and forms, and I guess there's no definitive quote unquote best pizza. Everyone has their own individual tastes. Um, but whenever like I'm at a party or whatever, and like they order pizza, they'll obviously pick the most popular flavors like meat lovers, pepperoni, um, cheese, and there's always that one vegan pizza or vegetarian pizza for the I guess the vegan or vegetarian. Um, but yeah, then there's like the flavors like margarita and all that. But also you got like the flavor like the lesser known ones, and like sometimes you get like someone orders a Hawaiian pizza. I'm not gonna go into that discussion again. But like I rarely see Godfather pizzas. Not as much as there should be, in my opinion. I know that sounds a little bit biased, but you also don't see like pizza with anchovy on it because obviously, if you have a pizza at a party, right, with anchovies, no one's gonna touch it, right? It's just gonna be practically for me. But I think they should have like a bowl of anchovies at like parties where if you want to have anchovy on your pizza, or why not at parties, right? They just get like a bunch of like basic popular pizza varieties like pepperoni, cheese, and then they just have like a bowl of condiments that they get from like the grocery store, and they just like put them into like mini bowls. So at the party, if you want anchovy on pizza, you just grab some anchovies from like the bowls with like a fork or tongs or whatever. And you just put it on your pizza. That solves a lot of issues, if you ask me. Why not more parties do that? If you want extra pepperoni slices, here we just got them in these mini bowls on the side. Add as much as you want. If you want this specific topping, we're not going to order an entire like new pizza for you. You just grab some condiments from like the supermarket or whatever you have in your shelf, like or fridge. That sounds like a great idea. Why don't more parties do that? Customize your own pizza at a party or a function or event. Because how many times have you been at like a party and like there's only like maybe one or two pizza, I guess, varieties that they have that you're interested in, but those are always like the quickest ones to go, and you're left with like the bummers, like the ones that nobody likes, you know. Yeah, I think that would be a very inventive solution. Why not just order, um, the pizzas that everyone loves, but just have like mini bowls or plates where you can add extra condiments or remove condiments and add your own things. That just solves, um, those issues at parties where you always cook those leftover pizzas that nobody touches. Um, and whenever I go to pizza places, I always like to get the garlic bread. Um, you know, I guess Domino's pizza garlic bread's pretty good. It's very simplistic, but I just like the sogginess to it. Like I remember, you know, as a kid, right, my parents always used to make me garlic bread, for like dinner, and as a kid, I didn't really like garlic bread growing up, because the garlic bread that I had at home was like always like, you know, a lot more crunchier, a lot more harder. But Domino's pizza garlic bread, I kind of like how like soggy it is and how like sort of not greasy but like buttery it is. I don't know why. Some people don't prefer that. Some people like their garlic bread a little bit more crispier and a little bit more harder. But I like my garlic bread like a little bit soggy, like not soggy but like soft, Um, you can really taste the butter. It sounds weird, but that's just my personal taste. And yeah, I guess like pizza is pretty much like the stereotypical party food. Whenever you go out for, I guess, dinner, you just need like a quick, cheap option. You just get pizzas because everyone's happy with pizza. uh, and I guess you can order like many different varieties. It's cheap, satisfies everyone. Everyone knows what it is, and I guess you could easily make a vegetarian pizza, vegan pizza. Excuse me, my throat's a little bit still sore. Um, and I guess you can. Could you make a kosher pizza? I'm not quite sure how kosher exactly works, but you know, theoretically, I guess you can make pizza of anything. Um, you know, and I guess like you know excuse me. Sorry, I should have just drank some more water before this. Sorry, I'm all good. Um, I guess I'd much rather eat a pizza than a burger, for instance. Because as much as I love burgers, they are a little bit greasy and unhealthy. I know pizza is greasy and unhealthy too, but it's got meat. It's got some veggies on there. It's like well, same thing with a burger, but like I feel like pizzas are less intensive. At least that's how my parents always put it. But like at the same time, pizzas could also, I guess, be unhealthy. Um, Domino's is it healthier, quote unquote, than McDonald's? I'm not sure, but you know, I guess like it just really depends. Like you can make quote unquote healthy pizzas and burgers at home, but the only real difference, uh, you know, that pizzas or burgers made from home than it is like at Domino's or McDonald's is that it just doesn't have much grease or additives or whatever. Not additives, but like grease or uh, oil or whatever. But that's pretty much it. So it's like same sort of meat, same sort of condiments or things that you put on that burger or pizza. So yeah, I guess like you know, fast food it's not explicitly detrimental towards your health. It is unhealthy in the sense that if you keep on eating it, it'll be bad for you. But if you have fast food once a week or once a month, it's unlikely. I'm not a medical professional or anything, but I don't think it's going to be, the end of the world sort of thing. Obviously, everyone has their own diets, but I've eaten fast food, and in moderation, and it's okay. I'm being okay, but yet again, it depends on I guess your own body, your own health. But even now, I'm trying to cut down on fast food like Domino's and I guess McDonald's and KFC and Hungry Jacks and all that. Because yeah, I guess I'm not very much of a meat person. Hate to say it. Like obviously, I do have a meat lovers pizza every once in a while, but I don't really like much meat. In fact, I like a small portion of meat. I'm more of I guess a fish person, fish and chicken. But with like beef, I'm like I'm okay with beef, just in like very small portions. I can't just have beef with nothing else, because I feel like that's a little bit dry. Um, I just like I guess fish, but maybe more like you know salmon and all those type of fish and anchovy and all that, rather than like fried fish or like the fillet of fish or um, fish where you just like I guess cook it in a pan. I'm more of a I guess like a quote unquote raw fish person, but you know I feel like people have always like you know found me, I guess, a little bit weird when it comes to my food taste, especially in pizza, adding anchovy, like I said. But um, yeah, like I said, I guess um, I'm more of a quote unquote veggies and fish type of person than I am a beef person, and uh, part of it, I guess, is due to the fact that growing up, I used to eat a lot of, I guess, meat and beef and all that. And maybe I just gotten sick of it, you know. Um, so yeah, I guess like obviously whenever I try to order pizza, um, I have a little bit of meat, pepperoni, all those condiments on there, but I also like some veggies on there, like not too much beef. I guess you also want some cheese, maybe some like sliced capsicum, anchovy. But yeah, I guess what really capped this video off, I like pizzas. They're the ultimate party food. Uh, Perfect for sharing. Everyone loves pizza. Who doesn't? But and they're highly customizable as well. But after a while, if you just eat nothing but pizza, I feel like you just eventually get bored of it. And when you go to enough parties, you might be a little bit bored of pizza. Not to say it's bad or anything. I certainly do love pepperoni and The Godfather and maybe meat lovers as well. But yeah, I do feel like you eventually get sick of it. Um, but I guess before I like end the video, I like to say when I went to Japan in November 2024, like I mentioned earlier on in this series, um, I ended up I found myself, eating a lot more fish. I don't think I ever had a pizza in Japan or much beef, actually. Did I actually consume any beef in Japan? Well, I went to McDonald's once and I went to Burger King a few times, except Burger King doesn't really have full beef. It's like a blend between beef and pork. So yeah, I might have only had beef in like McDonald's the one time that I went to McDonald's in Japan. Yeah, I actually, come to think about it, I think I didn't actually have. Oh, well, I did go to an udon place that might have had beef in the udon. So, yeah. But, like, when I went to Japan, uh, you know, I found myself, I was eating a lot more fish, a lot more, I guess, noodles, a lot more veggies. I really didn't eat a whole lot of beef in Japan, come to think about it. But I guess, um, I guess that's why I kind of like fish, because I was in Japan for 3 weeks. And, you know, it's really weird though, because, like, um, maybe I'll just do a whole nother video about, like, I guess, what I ate in Japan. But, it's really weird because, like, you eat, right, like a standard meal in Japan, and by the end of your holiday, you realize, hey, I haven't really gained much weight. It's like, it's really hard to, like, gain weight in Japan. Like, here in Australia, like, it's quite easy, I guess, to gain weight with, like, fast food restaurants and all that. But, in Japan, like, even just, going out regularly, eating the local delicacies and all that. Like I don't think I actually gained weight in Japan. I think I actually lost weight. Come to think about it, but that's because I did a lot of walking also. But yeah, like I think Japan has a lot more like, well, healthier, but like I guess they got a lot more like fish based options, if you know what I mean, like sushi and all that. Um, and obviously I do like sushi. It's nice, and I do like udon, and all that. But I guess it's more like carbs based. They have a lot more rice in their meals, and rice has a lot of carbs and all that. I'm no like medical uh, person or whatever, but yeah, I guess like I do sort of like um, you know traditional Japanese meals in that sense. The fact that they have like smaller portions, but those portions do fill you up because I guess they have a lot more carbs. If you know what I mean, like rice, sushi, and udon and ramen. Um, yeah, that's just a little side note because like I said, I when I was in Japan, I was like, hey, this like tastes really good. And when I came back to here in Australia, I was like, you know what? I'm not really much in a beef mood. I'm more into like fish, and I guess that's carried um, you know with me to the present, right? As of recording this, I guess I'm more of a fish person. Um, So yeah, and I guess so. I'm really like cap this video off because I did go a little bit off track from pizza to sushi, but yeah, I guess so. My wise quote today. What is my little quote of wisdom for today? Um, hmm, what is a wise quote? Sorry, I don't really think this out beforehand. Um, I'll say, you are what you eat. I don't think I've said that quote before, have I? You are what you eat. You're ultimately in charge of your own diet. Yet again, I think I might have said this quote before. All right, I'll say this quote and then I'll give you another quote. All right, just in case I already like repeated myself. You are what you eat. All right, eat plenty of veggies. Obviously, eat what works for you. Get a lot of exercise, all that good stuff. And I'll give you another wise quote of wisdom because I don't know if I've already done that, I guess, quote already, but not quote, but I guess like that little piece of advice or little quote of wisdom. Yeah, so apart from, I guess, like eating healthy food and getting a lot of exercise and eating, I guess, the right amount and getting the right amount of exercise, another little wise quote will be to, will be to experiment with new things every day. That's a nice little quote. Like pizza, right? You know how you go to a party and you always like get pizzas. Why not experiment things? Why not? If you're hosting a party, instead of getting like pizza all the time, maybe grab like one or two pizzas. But why not experiment with new things? Um, get some tacos. Get some, um, you know, cake. Get some, other traditional party foods. But also get like stuff that really isn't, I guess, used at parties, like um, you know, burgers, sliders, um, chips and all that sort of stuff. Like, obviously, it's your party, you decide what food, and obviously, you're gonna like, I guess, accommodate everyone's health needs and allergies and all that. But perhaps some nice stuff for parties, and I guess don't just do all pizzas, but experiment with things. Same with like, I guess, if you're going out like to a restaurant or whatever, you don't have to go to that pizzeria again. You can always like go elsewhere. If you have to go back to that pizzeria or pizza restaurant or whatever, try to order something different. Don't always stick to the exact same pizza variety just because it's your favorite. Order something different. Experiment, even if that pizza might be not to your liking. At least you experimented and at least you tried something new. And that really goes to, like, I guess, beyond the pizza world, like in life, experiment with new hobbies, learn something new every single day, make it a challenge to learn something new every single day and write what you learn so that they so that way you can like keep a library or like a diary sort of you learning a new thing every single day. You flip through, I learned this thing today. I learned how to do this on this day, if you know what I mean. That'd be a nice little concept. Maybe I'll do that. So that way, Buddy and I, in like 20 years' time, I would have learned, you know, like roughly 7,000 new things. Better than one or zero, but learn a new thing every single day. And always, yeah, I guess, you know, see every day as a fresh new opportunity. Um, Certainly build on upon your previous work, but see every new day as a new opportunity to learn, another roll at the dice, and yeah, just to I guess eat healthy because you are what you eat, and you know to take care of your mental and physical well-being. Anyway, I think that's enough said. I guess I'll catch you all later. Bye. See ya. Catch you all tomorrow.